All right. Let's just wait a minute. We actually have quite a bit of stuff to cover tonight, actually. So hopefully we're not kept waiting too long. Wow, that's a new personal best for Sage. That was quick. I'm looking at jumping Jack Flash over there. That was quick, Sage. Excellent work. That's why you're my prime wrench. Would you look at that? We gained another subscriber. The cloud is growing to a beautiful violet colored thunder cloud. Yeah, notification seems to be working all right. It's not too bad, actually. It's pretty sweet. How long should we give this thing? Yeah, we'll give it a bit there. Sage, I'm actually going to send you some homework for later, because I do have an idea. I don't want to divulge it here. I don't want to ruin the appeal. But as a wrench, I do feel I need to have you in the know as to potentially what I'm going to do for a trailer, so a channel trailer, plus it'll also be the 2-minute warning trailer as well. So I'll send you the videos, and it's 2 of them. Spoiler alert, Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, is going to be involved, and if you want details, I will share the ideas that I have. It's a pretty simple idea, but I think it's an absolutely perfect idea at the same token. So I sent it to your Discord, so whenever you get a chance, take a look there. Take a little peeky poo, whatever the fucking saying it is. Yeah, well, I'll just keep rambling. Here. I'm a rambling man. Actually, too, I'm going to send you a message. You can also to YouTube and type in oh, I spelt it wrong. Spelt that really wrong. It's a V instead of a B. So a Victor, not a Bravo. So welcome to the Thundercloud Corpse Dough. The Thundercloud is about to unleash its havoc onto the world. Surprisingly, we do have a lot to talk about tonight. So we're going to be kind of all over the place a little bit. There will be a bit of, we'll say smack talk, because I don't want to say the SH word quite yet. But how about we get us started by talking a little bit of the Toronto Blue Jays, who had a bit of thunder in their bats tonight. They beat the lowly Athletics. I think they're the Las Vegas Athletics now. I'm still calling them Oakland. They beat the lowly Athletics 12-0. They're now back to 500 yet again. We're 28-28. Maybe this time we can get over that hump. I've been saying it for a while now. Let's get 5 games over. And then, let's teeter-totter at the 5-game over mark. And then let's get 8 over. Teeter-totter there. Then let's get 10 over. And then let's just try to sneak into the wild card, because we're not going to win the division. That stuff's just not going to happen, quite frankly. But the stats, we filled out the stat sheet tonight, because we did have 18 hits, scoring 12 runs. So let's just get started on the players who actually performed for the Blue Jays, because we don't want to talk about the losers of the team. Bo Bichette was 2 for 4 tonight. He hit a home run, drove in 3 runs, average at 277. That average will get higher. OPS at 750. Expect him by the end of the year to be hitting, in that 290 to 300 range, with an OPS probably over 780. So Bo Bichette, I've been saying it. Let's try to lock him up so we've got stability. And then, we've got horses on the way. We've actually got 2 guys in the top 50 for MLB prospects. And the third guy was just outside Keith Law's. And Keith Law is actually one of the better guys for prospects. So Our farm system is doing well based on our draft last year, and then of course Arjon Nimala. Addison Barger is continuing to swing a pretty good bat. I mean, he's up to a 750 OPS as well. You can plug him in third base, right field. He's got a hell of an arm. He's got a howitzer of an arm. I don't know if he hit a home run or not. It does not look like it because he didn't have an RBI. So I retract my statement of saying I don't know. I do know. I can confirm he did not hit a home run. Vladimir Guerrero did hit a moonshot. He was 1 for 4, hitting his 8th home run of the year. Bo Bichette is at 6 now all of a sudden. I mean, Vlad's doing okay. He's at an 815 OPS, but if you want to earn $500 million, you need to get that son of a bitch over 900 OPS. Let's just put it that way. George Springer, 2 for 5 on the evening. He drove in absolutely 1 run, so good work there. I don't think he hit a home run, but let's get the home runs out of the way. Ernie Clement had his 2nd home run of the night. He actually had a big game. He's pretty much a dog shit hitter. Mere 645 OPS. He had 5 RBIs tonight, though, and 3 hits. So, good night for him. Good little utility player. That's all he really is. That's all he ever will be. I mean, he's a 29-year-old who's only in his 2nd year, so he's not that good. So, George Springer's 812 OPS. Kirk. I almost said Christian Kirk. Alejandro Kirk was 3 for 3 tonight. He had an RBI. Yeah, I like that. I like these. You got a catcher who's a top defensive catcher hitting 297. I mean, the OPS isn't super great, 721, but that's all you really need from your catcher. Nathan Lukes, for whatever reason, was benched. 0 for 1 pinch hitting. Anthony Santander needs to get his shit rolling. We paid you a lot of money to not hit a $179 with no power. Miles Straw was in the lineup. Don't want to talk about him. I don't care if he got a fucking hit. Jonathan Clace. So that is a guy I believe we got in the trade for Yimi Garcia. Could be wrong. It was last year at the deadline. 2 for 4. He's up to a 270 average, 708 OPS. So he's above average in terms of hitting. That's actually a really good sign for a pretty young guy who I believe he's got pretty good defense as well, because he's supposed to be a center fielder. But obviously when you got like Dalton Varsho, he's not going to see reps there, especially with Miles Straw as your backup currently, because those two play probably top 3 to 4. I mean, Varsho is the best center fielder in the game when it comes to defense. There's no question there. Straw, though, has been the best in the league before. So he's not going to see many reps there. So that's what's going to, like, it's going to lead to him not getting a ton of appearances probably. I mean, because he's not really, I don't think his bat profiles well at, like, the corners. And you've already got Santander and right. But Santander, you can also DH him. We don't have a true DH, so you might be able to get him more reps. But just nice to see him hitting. This Michael Stefanik needs to get sent the fuck down. I don't know who the fuck this other guy is. This catcher here, or he's playing first base tonight, Sanchez. I don't know who the dirty Sanchez is, but he needs to fucking go too. Jose Barrios, I mean, let's not, just because we hit a ton tonight doesn't mean that, you know, we got to neglect the pitch. And so he did have a good game. 9 strikeouts over 6 innings pitched, lowering his ERA to 3.86, so that's solid. This Fluharty guy, keep forgetting his name. I think it's Wade. Let me see if it's Wade. Mason Fluharty, sorry. Left-hander, 23 years old, 3.68 ERA out of the bullpen, so doing pretty good there. 2 strikeouts in an inning. This Jose Urena guy kind of looks like dog shit. He was good tonight, 2 strikeouts in 2 innings, but that 5.87 ERA ain't impressing anyone. We did have a very interesting trade, so the rich got a little bit richer today. The Dodgers made, in my opinion, a hell of a trade. Now, they're buying low on a guy who has been struggling. This guy was on my team to start the year, Alexis Diaz, formerly of the Cincinnati Reds. I think he's a good buy low guy. So they only had to trade their 13th round pick last year, Mike Villani. One thing I did not know is that Alexis Diaz is the younger brother of the New York Mets closer Edwin Diaz, so I didn't know that. This guy has been a stud before. Apparently, though, his velocity has dropped the last couple of years. From basically 4 straight years, it's gone down from an average fastball of 95.57 or 98.7, I should say, to 93 miles an hour. So that is concerning. So that might be a problem. And his production, of course, hasn't been that great, but he was extremely dominant between like 2022 and 2023 at a 2.47 ERA with 47 saves on a shitty Cincinnati team. So I think it's a good buy low trade for them. That's all I'm going to really say about it. I think it's a good buy low trade for the Dodgers. So good work on the Dodgers for bolstering an already very good bullpen. And he really didn't have to give up anything whatsoever. This news will hurt Dan and his fantasy team. AJ Smith-Shawver. Sorry, I almost said Schuster. Shawver. He's in a bit of trouble. So when I was reading the article on Roto World, I think it was the coach or something was talking about it, and they described his arm as they heard it pop in his elbow. So needless to say, if you own AJ Smith-Shawver, you should drop him. Oh, that's good. I heard him in the background. You better be watching the fucking channel. He's been dropped, yeah. And everyone else should do the same, because that's Tommy John all the time. He's not going to pitch this year. You heard it here first, most likely. We do have, it really doesn't fucking matter, but it was just kind of a big game for Junior Caminero of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. I'm not going to call them the Tampa Bay Rays, because Devil Rays are fucking cooler. Dumb that they would ban that name, because the Christian gospel has to get up in arms because they're fucking Devil Rays. Well, Devil Rays are a fucking animal. Deal with it. Slow your roll. Shut your mouth, you fucking jabronis. Go to church and get the fuck out of my fucking lane. We're talking about Junior Caminero because he went 3 for 5 tonight. Had a home run, a double. But he drove in 6 RBIs, which is a career high for him. If you got Junior Caminero, you're happy after tonight. But on the season, I mean, he's producing okay. Not anything too substantial or anything like that. But just thought it was a noteworthy performance nonetheless. We draw our attention to the Pete Rose Bowl Cut League, or whatever we're called. I like that. The Pete Rose Bowl Cut. I like that. We're just going to go over, there was no moves, no transactions, nothing notable to go over there. All I know is I had a real good speech. I had a real good speech this week to the team after we went out and we ate a shit ton of donaires. I told them it's time to get real. I even brought Dr. Phil in, and Dr. Phil told him to get real as well. And so far, we are beating a formidable team, 15-1. We're really putting pressure on Tommy Callahan's auto parts. We're thinking of selling We're thinking of selling auto parts better and gooder. But Tommy Callahan, he knows I'm coming. He's fueling up on donaires as well. He's up 13-1 against Graham, which is actually something Dan needs to see. But can Dan capitalize? Technically speaking, even though he's stuck 8-6, he would still gain ground on Graham, even if he were to lose 8-6. Now, Vlad the Impalers is not doing him any favors, because she's up 7-5 over Mother, but that's a pretty tight affair. But it seems like we're seeing right now, I'm the Secretariat, and there's Crazy Horse Sage. He's coming up, he's trying to trot behind me, and you know what, you're putting up a good battle. You're putting up a good battle, but I'm the bigger, badder cattle, so I will knock you off, Sage. I will fucking knock you off of that first place ribbon you're currently sitting on right now. And I'll be 1 game up on you come next week. Guaranteed. All right. Let's move on. We've covered AJ Smith-Shawver and his arm exploding. We do actually have some NFL news to go over. This is very exciting. It's not really news, but it's it's kind of a nice little juicy rumor we got to get out of the way. So, apparently, the Pittsburgh Steelers want to add a playmaker. And apparently, they want to add Jonnu Smith to their team, which I think would be a great move for them, given you're not gonna like replicate George Pickens' production in any trade that you're gonna make at this time of year. It's not gonna happen. You've already got DK Metcalf to offset that a bit and potentially add a bit more. But I do like the idea of adding Jonnu Smith because that would give you two tight ends that can actually receive. Jonnu Smith had a career year last year. He is familiar with Arthur Smith, who he worked with, I believe, in both the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons organization. He'll take a step back, so I don't think that, I don't think he's going to cost a ton. He is more buy high than he would have been if you had made this trade a year ago, because I think he put up 884 yards last year. But, the Steelers have a bevy of draft picks next year, so if they're going to throw, a fifth or a sixth or whatever, I wouldn't want to give up a fifth, but maybe it's a conditional sixth that becomes a fifth. Who knows? Even if it is a fifth, it's probably not the end of the world. It'd be kind of good. You'd have him, and I think his name is Pat Freiermuth or whatever. You'd have two good tight ends. Darnell Washington can block, but he can't catch worth a damn. He can't catch a fucking cold. And then you got to kind of look. There was that one guy, I think Roman Wilson, they're hoping is going to be their number 2 to DK Metcalf. And then, of course, they'll bring in Alan Lazard once Aaron Rodgers signs. So I kind of like this rumor. I think it's got something to it. It wouldn't surprise me if that trade is finalized very soon. Also, a guy to keep an eye on is Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey will not be traded until after June 1st because I think the cap differential is $14 million, but Jalen Ramsey will be traded very soon and probably not going to get traded for a whole lot. One thing, let's go over Jonnu Smith, just so we can, I was right. He had 884 yards last year, 582 the year before that. Before that, though, he was kind of a 250 to 450 guy, so not the greatest production in the world. Certainly a good number 2 tight end, though. That's a good option to have. 29 years old. I think it would be a good ad for Pittsburgh. I don't think it's a game changer, but I think it's a good move. But yeah, one thing I hate, I go on, and Jalen Ramsey will not be going to the Tennessee Titans. I'm just going to say that right now, Sage. That's a complete asinine thing to say. I actually find what you just said there as a journalist of the Thundercloud, I find that to be highly disrespectful. So as a wrench, I want you to delete that one comment. Oh, he grew up in Tennessee. Why is he going to go to Tennessee? Tennessee's not going to compete next year. You guys are going to finish in the bottom 10 and you fucking know it. Although you do play in a pretty fucking shitty division, although Houston's going to take the crown in that division, I'd say bar none. But I don't even think Houston's that good. Houston's offensive line has warts. It's got warts all over it. And they traded Laramie Tunsil. I know they drafted, I think they drafted a couple offensive linemen, but they're rookies. Rookies don't generally just come in and, make a difference right away on offensive line. But, yeah. That's great. He grew up as a Titans fan. It's not going to happen, so get that thought out of your fucking head. You're making the program look real bad here. You make it look real bad. Now I lost my train of thought. I was going to rip something. Okay, yeah. I hate some of these, there's these sports things that pop up. I had one pop up the other day. I was taking a shit, and I go to Google. Or before I even go to Google, I open up Chrome. Jalen Ramsey traded to the Packers. And I'm like, well, that would be interesting, because that would clearly involve Jerry Alexander coming the other way. But then I see the source, and I'm like, oh, it's a bullshit source. So I just hate that there's these sites out there that just make up shit just to get clickbait, and they are getting clickbait. There's a reason why they do it. But I just hate it. It's it's just a fucking pet peeve of mine. Speaking of Jerry Alexander, The Green Bay Packers have proposed a contract to him, so a revised contract. There's no terms as to what that would mean, for the restructure, I guess we would call it. But it's starting to look more and more likely that Jerry Alexander will be back. The only problem about Jerry Alexander is not his performance. He was the 8th best cover corner last year. The problem is he can't stay on the fucking field. He plays about half the games over the last 4 years. So that's a problem. That's a big problem. But why would you get rid of him? Just cut him after this year if you want to cut him. Cut him after this year. Right now we're in the midst. The thing is like, if I can't trade him and I can't get like any compensation for him, and the draft is come and gone. Yeah, someone could pay, but what are they going to pay? They're going to pay like a 7th round pick. Why would I trade Jerry Alexander for a 7th round pick? It makes no sense. We're not in cap trouble. We got cap space. Makes no sense. If we cut him, guess what's going to fucking happen? The Detroit Lions are going to fucking sign him. The Minnesota Vikings are going to sign him. One of those teams are going to sign him. Makes no sense to cut him. Trade him, makes sense. Make sure you get him out of the division. You don't have to deal with him, etc., etc. But, like, if you fucking cut him, I swear to God, I'll fucking lose it. He seems like he's always stoned all the time, too, which I appreciate as well. This is the news that Sage has been waiting for all day. I think it was me. It could be. I could be wrong. Never him though. I could be wrong. I believe I guaranteed a Knicks win in Game 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I guaranteed that they would win this game. And guess what? They did. From what I see, just by looking at the stats, the Pacers didn't do very well on offense at all. Their best player was their bench player. That's not true. I didn't guarantee a Stars win. I don't know what a Stars aim is. I didn't guarantee it. That was a joke guarantee. And stop it with the spoilers. We haven't even gotten to the NHL yet, Sage. I'm doing it in the order in which you've presented to me. Don't do spoilers. We don't do spoilers here at the Thundercloud. Unbelievable is all I'm going to say to that. Yeah, I freaking told you to make it was a joke. I wrote it in my diary and I laughed at it later that night. It was a joke. It was a joke, Sage. I'm sorry. It's all right. We're both sorry. That's what, hug it out, bitch. That's what just happened there. Now, when I say that the Indiana Pacers offense looks atrocious, they had 3 players in double digits. So, their leading scorer was Benedict Mathurin. 23 points. The motherfucker went off. I mean, he was 6 for 10 from the, field goal range. 9 for 9 from the line. I mean, this guy looks like he's a pretty good backup point guard. He did that in 25 minutes. But, Obi Toppin had 11 points in 18 minutes. That's good production. But those are your 2 leaders there, other than Pascal Siakam, who had 15 points, 5 for 13 shooting. Tyrese Halliburton was 2 for 7. They did terrible on offense tonight. And guess who didn't do terrible on offense? Jalen Brunson shot a very swift Taylor Swift 12 for 18 with 32 points, 4 for 7 from 3-point range. That's a good motherfucking performance right there. Karl Anthony Towns was a dog again, putting up another 24-point game. 10 for 20. That's 50%. Pretty damn good. Their bench, wasn't great. Josh Hart had 12 points. And then their other starters were, like Mikal Bridges had 12 points, and OG Anunoby was super inefficient, 3 for 14, 1 for 7 from 3, but at least he had 11 points, but that's a terrible game from him. But your 2 top stars were extremely efficient. They forced a Game 6, and the pressure, in my opinion, is now on the Pacers. I think this is going to a Game 7. In fact, I guarantee a Game 7 between the Knicks and the Pacers. So, I think that's what we're going to see. I'm very confident. Sage, you should feel good. You should feel good. You know what? Good work, Sage. You and the Knicks took care of business. So, OKC continues to wait to see who they're going to face in the finals. The next game we've got is May 31st between the Knicks and the Pacers. So Game 6, the Knicks will travel to Indiana. That's a game that May 31st is a Saturday. I'll probably be watching that game. Yeah, I will definitely be watching that game just to see. I like both teams. I kind of like the Pacers a little more, but I don't really give a fuck at the same time, if I'm being honest. So right now, Indiana's favored to win that game by 4 or more. We'll see what happens. I really feel like the Knicks just they just changed the game. I feel like the Knicks are going. They're gonna take it to Game 7. We'll see what happens, but momentum has completely shifted. I think that's a big win. And, I think they won by a decent amount, too. I think they won by 17 points. It was like 111 to 94 there. Now, Sage heard me wrong when he said I guaranteed the Dallas Stars would win. I said the Edmonton Oilers would win. I guaranteed a Game 5 victory for the Edmonton Oilers, Sage. So you just heard wrong. But, yeah, it was a shellacking. From what I understand, the goalie got pulled after 2 goals. So Jake Ottinger got pulled after basically having, I think, 2 shots against him, letting 2 goals. I didn't see the goals. I don't know if they were absolutely lousy goals or not. They brought in Casey DeSmith. I mean, I guess you could say theoretically he was better. He made 17 saves out of 20, but at least he made a save. He still let 3 goals, though. I thought the advantage this series was supposed to be Dallas's goaltending. Thought that was one of the things. I thought Edmonton's defense is shoddy as well. But, I mean, when you're putting up, 5 goals with a goalie in that 6 overall, because they did beat them 6-3, that's a lot of firepower. So even if your defense does suck, 6 goals is kind of, I don't think we've seen the 7-6 game this year. I haven't seen any team score 7. We've seen 6 quite a bit, though. Connor McDavid, I know he did. It's just a balanced effort, though. Connor McDavid had a goal and an assist, but just look at this. Matthias Janmark a goal, Evander Kane a goal, Kasperi Kapanen, formerly of the Maple Leafs, scored a goal. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins did not score because I was trying to find Corey Perry, who did score, and Jeff Skinner scored a goal. So it's not like anyone. Just a good team effort. So, Edmonton, congratulations. You go into the finals to lose to the Florida Panthers. And that will kick off. When does that finals kick off? So, we won't be talking hockey for a while. June 4th will be the first game. Who has home ice advantage, though? Is it... can you look that up for me, Sage? Is it Florida or Edmonton who has home field advantage? It looks like it's Edmonton, from what I can see. Yeah, I think Edmonton's got home field advantage there. I really think that the Florida Panthers are going to win this, though. I think they're just a way better overall team. They've kicked the shit out of everyone not named the Maple Leafs. Although Edmonton's offensive firepower scares me, but I don't think it's necessarily better than Florida's. On one of the streams, maybe I'll look it up and kind of see what the goal differential is, because I don't have those stats off the top here. I think Florida's got a better goal differential in the playoffs than Edmonton, for sure. They could do it, but, this year you've got pretty much the same Florida team with Brad Marchand as well, so they've gotten better. I don't know who Edmonton has gained or lost or anything like that. I think it'll be a good series because, let's face it, the conference finals were not fun. The conference finals were not fun to watch this year. it's all been 5-game series. That's why, I mean, it's not fun. There's no drama or anything like that. It's just a lot of kind of blowouts, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, Edmonton did play the Kings. That was a tough series. So they did win that 4-2. Then they took on the Golden Knights. They surprisingly won that 4-1, but that's a tough team to beat. Then they had the Dallas Stars. I don't know though. Like, Tampa Bay Lightning won a cup not too long ago, I believe, didn't they? Carolina's never won a cup. Leafs haven't, but the Leafs were better than those two other teams. It's tough to say, honestly. I don't know. I can't say the Kings are better than the Leafs if we're being honest here. They're not that team anymore, so they're in a bit of a, not really a rebuild, but they're not. They've lost some guys basically. They still got that big motherfucker, Victor Hedman. I used to love getting Victor Hedman in that fucking when I used to play NHL. Big motherfucker. You know, I used to, just like back in NHL 2000, I used to get Chris Pronger. I like those motherfuckers that just lay people the fuck out. Thing about Chris Pronger, though, is he was talented on offense, whereas like a guy like Scott Stevens, he'll lay your ass the fuck out. He wasn't necessarily as talented as like a Chris Pronger on offense, though. You know what I mean? All right. So tomorrow, we will be back at it. I believe Nathan is doing a stream tomorrow of some sort. So he's either doing, it's like a mini stream, or he might just be posting a video. So keep an eye on that for Indie Game Cloud. I will do my stream. For the people out there that are more interested in watching me do video gaming, this is kind of a good time of the year for you because we don't have any hockey to talk about tomorrow. We don't have any basketball to talk about tomorrow. There might be a rumor or two. I doubt it. So it would really just be Blue Jays and then get right to Red Dead Redemption. Unless you guys think I should start The Last of Us 1. But I feel, Sage, I need your opinion. I know you're in with old Dutch. Should I just... I need to beat Red Dead Redemption 2 before I start The Last of Us, correct? Just give me a hell yeah and I'll take it. When I say hell yeah, I mean it. Just as I mean when I say to hit the like button of this video, for those of you that are still watching, you hit that motherfucking like button, okay? Ugh. Would it be weird to be going back and forth on the two games, or maybe this is something we should talk about off the clock? I mean, I'll have to find it. I'll figure it out. Okay. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Like if people think it would be, what does everyone else think? Is anyone else even watching here? Should we alternate the games or just stick with Red Dead? Or, I'm for either or, to be honest with you. I just want to make sure I don't get too I don't want to take too much time off of Red Dead Redemption because I feel like I'll forget a lot. Last of Us is only a 15 to 20 hour game. Okay, so... Oh, interesting. So we gotta vote for Big Red. Okay. Alright, so tomorrow will be Red Dead Redemption. And then after that, it's a maybe. I think makes sense. I do, I'd be playing Red Dead Redemption right now if Dan, wasn't here. I am liking that. I like that it's like Grand Theft Auto. I do like that. It's weird. The Last of Us. What about The Last of Us after Red Dead Redemption? And then alternate. We could do one and then just kind of keep going back and forth with it. Because I do want to do The Last of Us as well. I'm gonna have to talk to Sage. He's the golden wrench, and he calls all the shots. But no, it might be good if we switch it up a little bit. I just don't want to be too rusty. Like, if I take 5 days off of Red Dead Redemption, I'm going to forget how to play the fucking thing. Alright, let me close out this tab here. Everyone that is in our league, please make sure you set your rosters. We want a competitive affair. That's how we do things in the Pete Rose Bowl cut. Sage, I want you to rebrand. Yeah, I like The Last of Us too. I watched the first season. The second season just came out as well, so it might be a good way to set the mood. What did I say to say? Oh, Sage, I want you to rebrand our league to Pete Rose Bowl Cut. Something like that, please. I think it makes a lot of sense. So please, can you rebrand it? It's just a little tweak. Just a little tweak. I really want to do The Last of Us just so I can play The Last of Us 2. That was one of the first things I asked Sage. I was like, can I just jump to The Last of Us 2? I hear the graphics are really good. And he's like, no. You got to play this one first. So I wasn't able to jump ahead, unfortunately. But I really do. I really do want to play The Last of Us 2. Just because I want to start testing out this graphics card that I spent $630-some for. I spent a good chunk of change on this graphics card here. It's probably outdated as shit now, but it's a good little graphics card. Say, speaking of computers, how's your computer doing? I'm sorry, Sage. I got boisterous, and I got ahead of my. It says GeForce RTX on it. It's got some nice flamingo colors that change and looks pretty sexy. I forget. I can go to Amazon right now and check what it is. It's a good little, I'd call it a howitzer. It was just the RAM that was causing the problem. All right, I'll check real good. I'll check real quick. I'll try to be quick here so that there's not too much dead here. All right, you give me 1 minute here, please. Please hold. It is a RTX 4060 Ti 8GB GDRR6 128-bit HDMI/DP NVLink Torx fan, blah, blah, blah. I think you get the point. It's currently being sold for $613.25 before taxes. Well, I mean, it's outdated if we want to have the top of the walk, right? It's a little outdated. I spent a good chunk of change on that motherfucker, man. Holy shit. I don't usually do that for a fucking computer part. No, it's a good little graphics card. I read, well, I think you helped me buy it, right? So it was a good value. Huh. Well, I guess I done good. Sage. All right. It's time for us to put a bow on this bitch, send it out to Canada Post, and be done with it, okay? We're done. We will be back tomorrow. How much did I purchase this for, though? So I bought it November 18th, 2023, and it was $538.98 and came to $619.83. Huh. Yeah, I did. I think I used a firm for that. I'm pretty sure I used a firm for that. I didn't want to pay that up front. So, well, Sage, when you upgrade, just send me your old parts, okay? Sharing is Karen, okay? All right, guys, I got to go. The air conditioner has been turned off so that we don't have background noise because my Samsung is so strong. So, I'm dying right now. I'm dying a little bit. It's fucking hot. The summer is here. Oh, well, 4 is bigger than 3. So I think I got a better one than you. 46, he's a lot bigger than 3080. That's all I'm saying, Sage. So I've got the better graphics card. I should be the one giving Sage advice as to which one. I don't give a fuck, Sage. We don't want to hear your fucking semantics at this hour. It's too fucking late for your shit. I did receive a message from my competitor this week. Ugly ass scoreline for an ugly ass week. So that's my competition. So they know they're already beat. I'm dragging them straight to the depths of fucking hell. Alright, guys. It is time. It is time. And it is time. We are done for the night. I feel like we covered quite a bit there. We did good. We done good. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. We will reconvene tomorrow shortly after midnight Eastern Standard Time. And we will play either Red Dead Redemption 2 or The Last of Us Part 1. So we will figure that out between now and then. Alright. Later, guys.